It is said that people become leaders by internalizing a leadership identity and developing a sense of purpose, be it men or women. According to Fortune 500, women CEOs make up 6.4% of the Fortune 500 list in America, and companies that boast a higher representation of women on their boards notably outperform the organizations that don't. Question is, are women making choices to play a more balanced role in life that has caused the lack of women leaders in the business and corporate world? Welcome to the Resilience 30 Women Awards 2022 by Hapa and Shanghai Media on Hapa TV, where extraordinary stories from women are shared, stories that will change and impact lives. The Resilience 30 Women Awards was created to celebrate women who deserve a recognition of strength, courage, and resilience. Their perseverance, determination, and ability to bounce back from the recent global pandemic is a compelling value that must be recognized and celebrated. I'm Jennifer Ong, and my guest today is an accomplished chartered accountant with 23 years of experience in the corporate secretarial, tax compliance and advisory, boardroom matters, and shareholder structure, as well as accounting and finance. A wealth of experience indeed. She's the second generation of Syarikat Ong, having taken over from her late father-in-law. Being a detail-oriented person who thrives immensely well in a fast-paced environment, she's extremely passionate about empowering her team with the right skills in achieving their bigger goals in life. Let's welcome Agnes Wong, Managing Partner of Syarikat Ong Group of Companies.
Thank you, Jennifer, for having me today.
Hi, thank you so much. So, Agnes, tell us a little bit more about what Syarikat Ong does. And, I know it's been, 48 years now?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So basically, we are a company that is actually in the corporate services. We help businesses, especially our focus is actually on SME, to really support them in their business forward. So a lot of people heard of this company secretary role, taxation role, and corporate services like, for example, accounting. That is what we are doing. So basically, Jennifer, I was actually being honored to hand over the practice from my late father-in-law fully about 10 years ago. Before that, I took over the tax division first, which is much earlier, but fully took over at that time.
Wow. So you took over a company that was, at that time, 10 years ago, it was 38 years old, right? How was it like to take over a company that has been around for almost 4 decades? And, being a women leader, as we know, okay, not to say there's gender equality here, but being a woman leader, having taken over a company, how was it like?
A lot of people would have thought that, succeeding a business is a lot easier than starting a new business because there is a base in business. But generally, maybe everyone's journey is not the same. For mine, I actually went through ups and downs. The first hurdle that I actually went through by being a successor of a business was the fact that my clients actually felt that the leadership actually changes, even though I have already in the company, before I succeeded the business, I already in the company for another 10 years beforehand. Right. So, but the leadership changes has let them felt that it's not the same. And I went through the first hurdle of clients decided to leave us. That was the first hurdle.
Wow, that must have been quite a huge impact. What about the team? What were the changes that was coming in from the team? I mean, I can imagine if you're working with a particular leader for 30 over years and then suddenly a lady comes over. I mean, what was it like for the team?
Now, that is my second hurdle, Jennifer. That's the second hurdle. Because of the change of leadership, because of the style of doing things that is different, the requirement or the drive that we wanted is different. The second hurdle that I actually faces was the fact that I actually pretty much lost my the team that my father-in-law has actually handed over to me.
Wow.
So that really puts me into positions that I really had to think of what do I have to do next when I actually have that kind of situation. So it didn't happen concurrently when the client actually felt that it was happened two years to 3 years after that. So it was a great learning, Jennifer.
Right.
To be very honest, you know, sometimes when I think back to the challenges that I had, I actually felt that if I have not been put to test at that time, I probably would be a very snobbish person. You know? So sometimes we thank the test that's actually put to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And I think one of the most amazing thing about people, you know, and women particularly, is we learn from mistakes, and we learn, you know, from our hardships. Yeah. And some, you know, it's some special DNA in women that we have this ability to bounce back, you know, no matter how tough it is. And I cannot imagine, I mean, you know, how tough it would have been for you, you know, to have a group of clients leaving because, you know, it's a different leadership, and then, you know, the team having, you know, different thoughts and different mindset about, oh, you know, now a women leader coming in, and you know, that would have been something. Wow, you know, I'm really impressed with, you know, the fact that you fought through. Now, what about during COVID time? You know, how you know, did you pivot? What did you do?
Right.
It was different.
Okay, COVID is actually the third test that the company went through under my leadership, I would say. In fact, thanks to our years of experience that we had, being a 48 years company, we went through not just the COVID crisis.
Right.
We went through financial crisis in the 90s. So from those experiences, we knew how businesses actually will react. So what we did is immediately in March, right, 2020, when the COVID first hit, I quickly developed a new task force to actually move into clients' consultations to, should I call it, a right size all my clients, preparing them on haircuts, preparing them on a lot of these other businesses so that they survive.
Right, I see. Oh, yes.
So we sort of like kickstart the engine of advisory in assisting in that manner. And we felt, and from that experience, we realized that we have made the right choice.
So was that the input, the new business that actually saved your company as well during the COVID time?
Yes, you know, 2020, a lot of businesses will agree with me, right? In February, we had our Chinese New Year. In January, everyone would have paid all the bonuses.
Yes.
So February is Chinese New Year. Most businesses, especially small SMEs, right? Their cash flow has depleted. So is our firms, because we never think that a shutdown, it's going to be in a business.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that inexperience has really have depleted the cash flow. It was a very tough time. Do we do our own haircut? We did. But however, what we did at that time was we chose not to cut the staff, but we cut the leaders. Because I believe that whatever that we do, the leaders need to be the first to actually put to test.
Right.
And at the same time, we kickstart that particular engine to help our clients. And Jennifer, you know what? Because of that little decision that we made to stay relevant in business, we actually see ourselves perform much better before COVID even come to the financial position that we had. So that was a wonderful surprise to us, and that actually makes us learn how to service our client better as well.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, there are some fortunate companies that have actually pivoted and grew their business. In fact, some of them are performing a lot better now as compared to before COVID. But having said that, obviously they must have been decisions that had to be made. The resilience of not wanting to give up the business just because the business model might not be working anymore. So how was it like for you? I mean, now it's like fast forward after 2.5 years and you say, oh, things are better now. In fact, you're in a better financial position. But if you hadn't made those decisions then and you had given up, then you would not be having it today. So what was it like at that time, having to make decisions and, that sort of stuff? Yeah.
In any leadership is a very lonely journey. It's a very lonely journey. Sometimes you need to depend on a lot of other tools to advise yourself, or in a way, should I say, brainwash yourself, right? So but maybe it's within my DNA that I always have this tagline. I put it on my Facebook, right? So actually calls that I choose to see possibility and opportunity behind every obstacle. This is like one of a motto that I carry all the time. It's actually in my Facebook. If you follow, you will realize that. Yeah. So I choose to see. So it's a choice. So if you see behind every crisis, looked up for how do you actually be relevant, the feeling of giving up will be pressed down. So I think
giving up is not a choice. Basically.
It's not a choice.
Yeah.
It should not be even in your dictionary. Yeah. So overcome should be in your dictionary. Yeah. So instead of giving up.
Right.
So so this is, I think every entrepreneur, whether you're succeeding somebody else's business or you started your own business, that is one DNA you must have. If you don't, you need to incorporate it in it.
Nice. I love it, right? And so even the choice of word you need to choose. Instead of choosing giving up, you choose overcoming. So everything in life is about choices. So thank you very much, Agnes. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. So inspiring indeed. And I do hope Agnes Wong's story will give you the inspiration to make the right choices in life. Look, there is no right or wrong choice. It is a choice. And one of the quotes that I really like from Jane Goodall, she said, "What you do makes a difference." Now, and you have to decide what kind of difference do you want to make. So, to all the women out there, girls, even boys and men, whatever it is, the choice is yours. You need to make a choice that makes a difference. So thank you again very much. Thank you, Agnes. And to all of you, thank you for watching. Follow us on Hapa TV Facebook for more empowering stories from some of the most amazing women in Malaysia.
Thank you, Jennifer, for having me.
Thank you. See you again soon.